Alright, friends, today's the day. Uh, okay, let's see here. We're gonna do squeakies first. It is well, I would call it a green text, a green text, story, but it's more of a pink text. Alright, so it says, man and girl go out to drive. Right? They stop at a, they stop at a side of road. He turns to his girl and says, "Baby, I love you very much." "What is it, honey?" "Our car broke down. I think the engine is broken. I'll walk and get some more fuel." "Okay, I'll stay here and look after our stereo. There have been news reports of stereos being stolen." It says stereos. There's so much stuff that's spelled incorrect here. "Good idea. Keep the doors locked no matter what. I love you, sweaty." I love you, sweaty. So the guy left to get more full for the car. After 2 hours, the girls say, "Where is my baby? He was supposed to be back by now." Then the girl here, girl here, as in right here, not I hear something. HERE. Hear a scratching sound and a voice saying, "Let me in." The girl doesn't do it, and then after a while, she goes to sleep. The next morning, she wakes up to find her boyfriend still not there. She gets out of the car and gets out to check, and man door hand hook car door. That concludes the first story so generously submitted by Liv. Fuck. I'm so used to saying that. I didn't say your actual name though, so nobody knows who you are. So generously submitted by them. We're going to do one that Gumi sent. We're gonna do... Oh, fuck. Okay. We're gonna do the one that Gumi sent in. We're gonna do bad juju with garlic butter. Hold on, I want to do something. So like when people come in here, they know what's going on. Okay, so we're gonna do one of Gumi's after I'm done doing with this stupid banner. It's quite a hell of a day we've been having today. I'm not gonna go in depth about it, but I'll tell you what, it was pretty wicked. Just gonna make it look as dumb as possible. Hold on. Alright, there we go. Look at that. Okay, so bad juju with garlic. See those little ones right there? Kayla's dad asked, pressing his finger against the icy glass of the tank. After watching her reflection nod excitedly from behind him, fuck. Those are called crawfish. The big ones are lobsters. Oh, Kayla said. Well, why are they in there? Kayla's dad straightened his back, drumming his fingers along the tank. Because some like to eat them, he said. I just heard something. Alright, whatever. Because people like to eat them, he said. Kayla's little face dropped. But why are they gonna eat them? She asked, scooting closer to the tank enough for her nose to feel the chill from the glass. Because they taste yummy. That's all, sweetie. But they didn't do anything bad, did they? No, Kayla's dad said, bending on one knee to face her at eye level. Sorry, I am very bad at reading. Okay, at eye level, they're nice animals. Just because they're nice doesn't mean they can't be food. Chickens are nice, but you love chicken nuggets, right? The disheartened little girl nodded to her father. Come on, let's go back to Mom, he said, scooping his daughter in his arms, carrying her back to the table. Damn, I should have specified how long these should be. Oh boy. It was a quaint little Cajun place off the main highway. Not too shabby, limited seating, but good food. Places like these always draw in eccentrics from every walk of life. Case in point, the table directly across from Kayla's family, two middle-aged men munching down on some shrimp. I'm just saying, you shouldn't jump to conclusions. Maybe Bryce had no idea it was spiked. Yes, he did. I'm telling you, that man's trouble. Jordan dunked another shrimp back into the cocktail sauce, sucking it down. Ow. Well then let's rough him up. The man's got 10 fingers and 10 toes. Daryl shook his head, sipping on his Bloody Mary and wagging his finger. I don't know, man. That's some serious bad juju. Like it says in the title. Doesn't know how to read. Shut up, Sour. The hell is juice? What the hell is juice? It says jujuce. You don't. Daryl stopped himself from another headache. Juju is like if you do bad, you get bad. You get me? So like karma. Yeah, like karma. Then just say karma. I didn't say that's what it actually says. It's not exactly the same, but fine. Point is, if we're gonna rack up some bad juju, we gotta balance that out with good juju. Wow! I don't think we're gonna get to it. This pasta's long as fuck. Alright, yeah, you know what? We gotta save like the longer pastas for a better day. Like a day where it's not like I have like an hour and a half to actually do these, so we're just gonna do Jesse's. Sorry. Remember, okay, so he submitted a Pac-Man one. For those who don't know, I fucking love Pac-Man. Can this... there we go. This one is fucking equally as long. What the fuck, Jess? You say that as I fucking say it's long as hell. You remember Pac-Man? Yeah, the little ball who has been... Fuck! Can this stupid ad close? God. Remember Pac-Man, the little yellow ball who has been the main mascot for Namco, now merged with Bandai for 41 years now. The fellow will always have a place in my heart. Oh my god. Since the days I played Pac-Man World 2. A man of culture, I see. On my GameCube, never mind. I didn't like the new reboot, relatable, they gave him, and although as they made him an annoying high school kid trying too hard to look cool. Jesus Christ, he hits the hail on the head. No high school kid looks cool, but that isn't the point. Before I start, it's obvious that I'm a Pac-Man fan, but originally played the arcade game on World 2's arcade. Okay, I want to point something out. We already see a cliche say, oh, I'm nostalgic for this thing. Ooh, yeah. Bonus area allowed you to play all of the classic games from the 80s. One day, I was chatting with my friend on Skype. Let that sink in for a moment. Who allegedly told me that he found a supposed version of Pac-Man, a ROM that was found locked away in a safe in the back of an old arcade. In an abandoned amusement park. And it was extracted from a damaged PCB board. Honestly, I didn't believe him, but he gave me a link. Yeah, you're right. He didn't tell me sent me a link. I kept that note for a few days. Later, since I was busy with school at the time. Fun fact, this creepypasta he sent actually has a playable version on itch.io. It's actually you can actually play it on itch.io. You don't need Flash or anything, you don't need to download it. I mean, if you want to, you can. But I recommend it. It's basically like just a way harder version of Pac-Man. So. Okay, so it says the file name is pacman.exe. Oh, kids, we're pretty good. Eventually, I got home one late Friday. I hopped on my computer, and I was originally going to play Left 4 Dead 2 or Quake Live. Someone write a Don Concrete Foster. No one knows enough about my characters to actually make something about that. However, I was reminded of the link my friend gave me thanks to my trusty notepad file I saved to my desktop. I opened the link up and was taken a browser page. The page itself had the story and stated that players who were able to finish the original arcade game board suffered a severe psychological and occasionally psychological trauma. It must be that bad they had to say it twice. Up to and including death of the subject and that the ROM's effects is significantly reduced. I put my hand over my face and corpsed. What? Okay. Thinking this is all going to be some other Lavender Town Syndrome hoax. But I digressed and clicked the link anyways because why not? Leading to where I could play the game on my browser. So I didn't risk downloading it, getting any creepy viruses. You think that like so you think that okay, you'd think that like a game that was locked away and it's readily available to play online. You would think that they wouldn't make it readily accessible, right? You wouldn't think they make it like readily available on the web. But I digressed and clicked the link, leading me to someone getting viruses, and it says insert soul. The game loaded with the corrupted ROM started up, accompanied by a loud static before displaying the words insert coin, but I noticed briefly flashing coin to soul. I'm gonna adjust my mic for a second here. Okay. For about a split second, and then I hit enter and started the game. The familiar maze board that many gamers probably remember displayed along with Pac-Man in the middle, where the fruit would usually appear. The little jingle that was stuck in my head as a child played, but it was really off. It started normal before slowing down, then speeding up, and then growing loud towards the end, while also going at a lower key. Once the jingle finished, I could move Pac-Man, presented by his iconic pizza shape. One thing I noticed was that I couldn't see any pellets unless Pac-Man came into view in certain channels. I also occasionally saw a blue ghost roaming the maze. He had a sad face in the style of that of a jack-o'-lantern, almost reminding me of something out of Ghosts and Goblins, mostly. As a picture here, it's actually from the. They actually have a picture here, and it's actually from the pasta, the playable version itself. Munching Pack Dogs played the usual waka sound effect, but it was much deeper than usual. The ghost sirens in the background were also slowed down. There were a few power pellets as any Pac-Man game would have, of course. I ate some and was briefly able to see a full view of the pack dots and the location of the ghost. This did not allow me to eat them, however, as when I touched the ghost, I simply died. Dying resulted in one of three things. The screen would zoom in on Pac-Man, where Pac-Man had died, and spin around while his death sound would play. But then contorted into static. I think they meant contorted, but whatever. Screen would freeze before restarting, or the sprite of the ghost would flash upon the screen along with a loud screech. Needless to say, it pissed me off. Yeah, I would get pissed too because it kind of just seems like the game is laughing at you. I eventually cleared the first board, and the next level started. This time, there was a red ghost, who had a sinister smile. If you saw Pac-Man, he would charge down the channel you were on of the maze with an obnoxious buzzing sound. That sounds really annoying. I should also add a fact that the level counter would occasionally flash to names, which I presume are the new ghosts that were added each time. The first level was named Blindy, which I can only assume is because he moves around randomly like Clyde. This time it was just screaming. This time it was screaming. Judging by his AI behavior, I think the name is well fitting. If you go out of his line of sight while he is charging, would make things a bit easier. Only last thing to mention is occasionally his sprite would flicker between his rather sinister bony grin to the 8-bit sprite of Blinky, the red ghost in Namco's, or if you're American, Midway original arcade cabinet. The next level introduced a much more annoying ghost named Slendy. Slendy. Okay. And as his name implies, he acted somewhat like Slender Man in a way. He would teleport around the maze at random and even pop up right in front of your face. All music and sound stopped if he was in your view. If you stayed in his line of sight, he would start getting an angry look on his face and eventually turns yellow. At this point, if he does turn yellow, he will more than likely teleport on top of you. Let me tell you something. Sometimes in the actual playable version, he will just teleport right on top of you anyways. Like, it does not matter what position you're in. He'll just fucking do it. Like, it doesn't matter how far you're going. He will just fucking come in there and eat your shit. He will just come in there and just do it anyways. It's so annoying. The next level introduced Old One, who happened to be pink. This was probably the worst of them all because he would follow Pac-Man and phase through walls on the board. Ah, oh, that sounds fun. His appearance was probably the most interesting compared to the other ghosts. He had strange tentacles like an octopus or squid. And he had some strange spot on the top of his head, almost like some sort of gemstone. Also, unlike the other three, he was the only one lacking a mouth completely. The fifth level was when things started getting weirder. Though the walls in the maze started disappearing, no, I'm not even kidding, they were vanishing and I could go through the board freely. It became more annoying this way, considering I couldn't stay straight, and the ghost got an advantage. After clearing this board, I noticed the next level was exactly the same. I can only presume that the rest of the game was like this now, so I ended the game here. Dying results in a screen asking play again, along with the countdown. Accepting just resets the game, while letting the timer run out simply printed out. I cannot read today. Simply printed out game fucking over. God. It says game over, not game fucking over. I'm just dumb. If the latter of the three results I mentioned earlier regarding Pac-Man's death occurring, you'd get a jump scare of screaming while the screech when the timer reached a certain point. After there was the red screen, the insert coin Afterward, there would be a red screen with insert coin, occasionally flickering to please help. Eventually, I closed the game out and went to bed. Honestly, I never knew a classic could be given a dark twist, at least not like this. Not like this. Not like this. Cause Sour just said it. I really hope it was not a real game, For if it was, then I really feel guilty for those who had to play this. Yeah, yes, game fucking over. My favorite game over screen. Update, I recently came back to this game and later saw a community leader. This shit talks about Mudahar! Talks about conspiracy theorist Uncle Muda! Recently went back to the game and I saw community's leader Mudahar has played the game and it recently has been updated to the following text. Reported 10-16-15. Additional repairs to the completed original PCB sections N-1 through R-6. Technicians' casualties. M. Harper fell into a catatonic state during testing. Declared brain dead. Yeah, I'm gonna play this shit on the PS4, Jess. Look at it. Oh, fuck. Additional repairs. The new ROM completed. Notable changes unknown. End report. Wow, that told me a lot. Most of the updates did list these supposed technicians who did edits to the PCB board. All either died some way of some cause. This, however, caught me as it didn't list as many details as the others. So out of curiosity, I decided to play the ROM again. Playing through levels 1 through 5 weren't too much different. The sounds seemed to be altered slightly though, mainly Pac-Man's death, where it would sometimes play halfway before turning into white noise. Here it only played half of the soundbite over and over like a broken record. The screech on the jump scare was also changed to high-pitched white noise when I got to level 6, though. That's when things got interesting. Upon entering the level, the walls of the maze were back. I began munching my way along the channels of pack dots. It was quiet, though. The ghost siren wasn't playing in the background. I was rather suspicious and continued onward. There weren't even any ghosts in the little ghost box, or ghost house. After munching on a certain number of pack dots, something unexpected happened. I heard a loud higher-pitched waka waka. Eating a power pellet, I found out what exactly this thing was. It was another Pac-Man, but it was dark gray, and I wasn't exactly freaked out, though, until after eating another set amount of dots. All the text boxes with score, lives, and whatnot changed to run, what sounded like the eyeball sound when you hear after they're talking about when they're in an eyeball phase. Okay. As it runs back to the box in the middle. At the deeper pitch started playing, the dark Pac-Man started moving faster. Eventually it caught up to me and the screen started glitching, showing several sprites and letters. Pretty much like the original 256 taken to a whole new level. After this, the screen cleared and I was taken to a first-person view? What the hell? The graphics were pretty much like Wolfenstein 3D or Doom. Pack dots laid around and I couldn't tell what exactly was happening. Eventually I came across Pac-Man. What exactly was going on here? He was a 2D sprite with about 4 different directions. Much like the game above, he seemed to be wandering around the maze. I was confused and pondered to myself a bit. Then it hit me. I was a ghost. I decided my natural instinct was to catch the yellow orb, per usual. It seemed he was running away from me, but even if that was the case, it was freaky seeing the damn thing coming forward to me with a wide mouth, open jaws. Even if it's his simple pizza appearance, upon touching him 3 times, the game window flashed to black and simply stayed that way. Upon closing, I can't help but wonder, what could this mean? Could this mean that the ghosts were past Pac-Man? Or even worse, past players? You can find a few versions of this game on the internet if you wish to play it. Probably the most popular place resides on GameJolt. However, I warn you, you may not want to play it. I still love Pac-Man to this day, and the original arcade especially. but I never thought there was a darker tale to this maze. Okay, let's talk about this pasta a bit. So, I think it's okay, but the earlier parts of it, of course, fall into the common fucking creepypasta trope. I mean, that's a given. What modern, like, creepypasta story won't, like, fall for that at this point? Won't, like, fall into those pits at this point in our lives. So, like, honestly, I think it's alright, but I kind of feel like it could have been done better. But one thing it does, and I said this in my previous live stream, a good creepypasta leaves you thinking if this A actually happened, or B, it just leaves you thinking in general. This one kind of does. Alright, I'll fucking do that. How much time do we got left? We got time. We got time. Alright, so we're gonna. That's actually a good idea. Where are you? We're gonna read Sonic.exe, kids. Or written by the man, the myth, the legend, the fucking pedophile. Status pieces. The man, the myth, the... I can't find a original creepypasta. Written by none other. The man, the myth, the legend. Motherfucker, these ads. Written by the man, the myth, the legend. Fucking JC the hyena. So, I'm a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan, much like everyone else. I like the newer games, but I don't mind playing the classics. I don't think I've ever played glitchy or hacked games before, though I don't think I want to play any after the experience I had. It started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Unleashed. I'm sorry, I have to do it. Okay, I'm kidding. I was playing Sonic Unleashed. I liked how you could get to explore the towns in it. Whoa! So I noticed something out of the peripheral vision that the mailman had arrived. Oh yay! The mailman had arrived and put something in my mailbox as usual. and left. I paused the game to go see what I got in the mail. The only thing in the mailbox was a CD case for a computer and a note. I took it inside, looked at the note first, and realized it was from my dear friend Kyle. Let's just call him that. I think that's his actual name. I think that's their actual name. Oh wait, no, I'm just so used to like the fucking other EXE variants or some shit. Whom I haven't heard from in 2 weeks. I know that because I recognized his handwriting, though it was weird. It looked badly written, scratchy, and somewhat difficult to read, as if Kyle was having a hard time writing it down and did it in a hurry. This is what he wrote. Tom, you owe me $50. Signed, Kyle. I'm just kidding. Tom, I can't take it anymore. I had to get rid of this thing somehow before it was too late. I was hoping you'd do it for me. I can't do it. He's after me. If you don't destroy this CD, he'll come after you too. He's too fast for me. Please, Tom, destroy this godforsaken disc before he comes after you too. It's too late for me. Destroy the disc, and you'll destroy him. But do it quick, otherwise he'll catch you. Don't even play the game. It's what he wants. Just destroy it. Please. Kyle. I feel a single tear coming on. Well, that was certainly weird. I'm not going to listen to that whatsoever. Even though Kyle is my best friend and I haven't seen him for 2 weeks, I didn't do what he asked me. I didn't think that a simple gaming disc would do anything bad to him. After all, it's just a game, right? Boy, was I wrong about that! Anyway, I looked at the disc and it looks like any ordinary computer CD art disc. Except it had black marker written on it, Sonic.exe. It was black marker on it written Sonic.exe. We got it! The man! The myth! The legend! EXE is here! Fuck! There it is! The man! The myth! Oh, no, he's not even here yet. It was unlike Kyle's handwriting. Hold on, I'm gonna do something. It was unlike I should have saved that. Fuck. Unlike Kyle's handwriting, meaning that it must have gotten it from someone else, like a pawn shop or... When I saw Sonic on the writing of the CD, I was actually excited and wanted to play it, since I'm a big Sonic fan. And all. Well, we'll talk about this story's leaps in logic after this. I went to my room and turned on my computer, and put the disc in and installed the game. When the game title popped up, I noticed that it was the first Sonic game. I was like, awesome, because like I said earlier, I liked the classics. The first thing I noticed was that I was out of place was when I pressed start. There was a split second when I saw the title image turn into something much different, something that I now consider horrifying before cutting to black. Remember the image looked like for a split second before the game cut to black. The sky was darkened, the title screen emblem was rusted, ruined with Sega 1991. It was no Sega 666, ooh spooky, blah 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 blah. Water was red like blood! Holy shit! It's blood! Or maybe they just spilled a shit ton of Kool-Aid water flavoring inside of it. That's a possibility. You've ever been to that city where the fucking lake turns green? That could happen. You know, it's not too far away from that, and I heard it's not really toxic to the environment, so... But the freakiest thing was in that split second frame, Sonic, his eyes were pitch black, bleeding with two glowing red dots staring right at me. His smile had stretched wider to the edge of his face, and was rather disturbed about that image when I saw it. Though I figured that it was just a glitch. And forgot about it. Why though? I figured that it was just a glitch. Oh wait, I didn't name off the important part where he was describing the background. The water turned red like blood, except it looked hyper realistic. And so I was really disturbed about the image when I saw it. I thought it was just a glitch and forgot about it. After it cut black, it stayed like that for about 10 seconds or so. Then another weird thing happened. The save select from Sonic 3 popped up. I was like, what the fuck? What's this doing in the first Sonic game? Maybe it's modded. This is doing in the first Sonic game. Anyways, then I noticed something was off about the background. It was the dark cloudy sky from Bad Stardust Speedway level Sonic CD. And there were only 3 save files. The music was the Creepy Caverns Winter music from Earthbound, only it was extended and seemed to have been reversed. And the image for the save file, where you could see a preview of the level you're on, was just red static. For all 3 files. Okay, on your bingo card, if you have static, check it off. Anybody who gets a bingo will get a free coupon for something, I don't know. What freaked me out was the character select. It showed Tails, Knuckles, and surprisingly Dr. Robotnik, Mr. Pingas. Now I was sure that something was up. I mean, how can you play as Robotnik in the classic Sonic game, for crying out loud? Bro, it's on a CD-ROM. It could be a modded fucking game, man. Simple as that. That's when I realized that this wasn't a glitchy game. It was a hacked game. Oh, Kyle, you silly goose, sending your friend Tom a hacked game. Yeah, it definitely looked hacked. It was really creepy. But as a smart gamer, I wasn't scared. I won't be deterred. I told myself that it was just a hacked game, and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyways, shaking off the creeped out feeling, I picked file 1 and chose Tails. And that's when I selected and got started. The game froze for about 5 seconds, and a creepy pixelated laugh, sounding a lot like the Kefka guy from Final Fantasy, before cutting to black. I'm smart gamer. The screen stayed black for about 10 or more seconds, and then I showed the typical level title thing, except it was simplistic shapes, and there were shades of red, and the text only saying Hill Act 1. The screen faded in, and the level title vanished, revealing Tails in Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. The music was off, though. It sounded like a peaceful melody in place. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm just gonna have this on in the background, but I'm gonna turn off the audio so you guys don't fucking, like... Where is it? Audio. Okay, it's not gonna shut up. What in the goddamn... I thought I was gonna play something completely different. God damn it. We'll just do this one. Anyways, I started playing Tails ran like normal. Any class. It was odd, was that as Tails was running along the level, there was nothing but flat ground and a few trees for 5 minutes. We're gonna skip a few of this. Hold on. I suddenly saw something, and I stopped to see what it was. A small animal lying dead on the ground, bleeding. That was when the music started slowing down. Tails had a shocked and saddened look on his face that I never saw him have before. So I had him move along, and he kept that worried look on his face. There we go. Had that worried look on his face. Let me just... Don't mind the filthy Frank garbage. As he kept moving, it's more... The dead looking more worried. The music lowers as he moves past more dead animals. I was shocked to see that they were all dead. They looked like somebody had killed them in rather gruesome ways. A squirrel was hung by the tree, what appeared to be his entrails hanging out. A bunny had all 4 of its limbs torn off. And a duck, there's no duck in Sonic games, had his eyes gouged out and his throat slit. I felt sick to my stomach. You're gonna feel sick to your stomach. You're gonna feel sick to your stomach via fucking pixelated animals. My guy, really. I'm moving to my bed. Hold on, because my phone's about to die. It's torn out, his eyes gouged out, throat slit. I felt sick to my stomach over pixelated creatures. So did Tails. After a few more seconds, there were no more animals, and the music seemed to have stopped. But I still kept Tails to continue. After a minute passed, the music stopped. Tails was running up a hill, but then stopped. And stopped. It wasn't until I saw why. Sonic was on the other side of the screen, with his back against Tails. Oh shit. And his eyes closed. Tails looked happy to see Sonic, but then his smile faltered, obviously noticing Sonic wasn't responding to him, if not acting as if he were totally oblivious to Tails' presence. Tails walked slowly to Sonic, and I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make him move. So this had to be some sort of cutscene. Suddenly I began to have a growing feeling of dread as Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention. I felt that Tails was in danger, and something bad was going to happen. I heard faint static growing louder. Joy-Con dripped. A faint static started growing louder as Tails was but inches away from Sonic and stopped and stuck his hand out to touch him. That foreboding feeling in my gut was growing stronger, and I felt the urge to tell Tails to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder. Yeah, fucker, cause Tails can hear you, my guy. I ain't touching that shit, Chief. The static grew louder. Suddenly, a split second, Sonic's eyes opened. They were black with the same glowing red eyes, just like the image. Though there wasn't a smile while that happened, the screen turned black and the static stayed black for about 7 seconds, and then wild text appeared, forming a message saying, "Hello, do you want to play with me?" Ooh, ooh, he said the thing! He said the thing! At this point, I was creeped out. I didn't want to continue the game, but my curiosity got the better of me when I was taken to a different level, with the level title now saying hide and seek. This time I was in Angel Island. I was in the Angel Island level from Sonic 3, but it looked like everything was on fire. So Angel Island Zone Act 2. Okay. This looked as though Tails looked as though he was scared out of his wits this time. He actually looked at me and made frantic gestures as if he wanted me to get out of the area he was in as fast as possible. I was starting to get freaked out by this. I mean, Tails was actually breaking the fourth wall. Wow, this is nothing fucking new, ain't it, buddy? This is nothing fucking new. I pressed down on the arrow key as hard as I could. And the arrow key as hard as trekked through desolate forest, trying to help him escape from whatever he was trying to run from. Suddenly I heard that creepy laugh again. It was the Kefka laugh. Right after 10 seconds have passed, I helped Tails run through the forest and then started seeing flashes of Sonic popping everywhere on the screen. Again, with those black and red eyes. The music changed to that suspenseful droning jingle as I see Sonic behind Tails slowly gaining up on him, flying. Sonic wasn't running, he was actually flying. The pose on his right was making it look similar to Metal Sonic's flying pose in Sonic CD. Except it was just Sonic and he had the black and red eyes again, only this time he had a more deranged looking grin on his face. He looked as if he was though enjoy. It looked as though he was enjoying the torment he was giving the poor little fox as he gained up on him. Suddenly, when Tails tripped, another cutscene. The music stopped and Sonic vanished. Tails laid there and started crying for 15 seconds. It was rather upsetting to watch, and I kind of teared up myself. But then Sonic appeared right in front of Tails, and Tails looked up in horror. Blood started coming down from those blackened eyes, those blackened eyes of Sonic's, as a grin slowly grew from his face, and as he looked down at the horrified fox, I can only do nothing but watch. A split second, Sonic lunged at Tails right before the screen cut to black. There was a loud scream noise that only lasted 5 seconds. The text returned, only this time it said, "You're too slow, want to try again." Ooh, ooh, he said the other thing. He said the other thing. And then that god-awful laugh came with it. I was so shocked by what had happened. Did Sonic murder Tails? No, he couldn't have. He and Tails are supposed to be best friends, right? Why did Sonic do that to him? Why? Why? I shook the shock off. Oh my god, this guy. I shook the shock off. As I was brought back to the character select, the save file that had Tails was different. Tails was no longer in the box itself, but in the TV itself, which was flickering with the red static. Check that one off. More red static. And the TV screen itself, which was flickering with the red static. Tails' expression scared me. His eyes were black, and his orange fur had gone black, and he had an expression of anguish on his face. Trying to ignore it, I picked knuckles. The laugh came again! Woo! The screen cut to black before it was the same laugh. And the level said, "You can't run." Hey, it's just like FNF Sonic.exe, you know, the song. That's actually kind of a banger. I was just freaked out by now. Just freaked out by now. I couldn't tell if it was a glitch or a hack, or some kind of sick twisted joke, or anything. But despite or some really kind of sick twisted joke or anything, but despite my fear of what happened, I kept playing because I'm fucking stupid. The next level looked much different. It had It had a ground. It had the ground of scrap praise on in the background, looked like the main menu. It had a dark reddish cloudy sky to it, and it played the Gygas theme. We're gonna skip a few of this. Okay, so I noticed that Knuckles looked afraid, just like Tails, though not as much. More rather, he was nerved. He broke the fourth wall, just like Tails, looked as if he wasn't sure what was going on, but I made him move anyways. He ran down a straight path, flicker of red static, blood came up, and then suddenly Knuckles ran. Sonic appeared right in front of him, with those black and red eyes. This black and red eyes, then red. But again, when the static vanished, showing nothing but black screen, the text saying, "Found you." He said the other thing. Sir, Sonic found Knuckles already. What was going on? Anyway, Red Sonic came out again. Then now I'm in a box. Like he was panicking, and Sonic was nowhere to be found. And this time, that high-pitched squealing from Silent Hill 1's final boss started playing, and the box is getting smaller. Whatever. It's like some kind of boss battle with Sonic. I hope to God it wasn't, honestly. Suddenly, Sonic appeared right in front of Knuckles. My dog just scared the shit out of me. Cardozo, what the fuck? Stop. Suddenly Sonic appeared right in front of Knuckles, what appeared to be black smoke. But I made Knuckles turn around and then punch Sonic. Then fighting. Knuckles. Hold on. I want to make a fucking actual spooky setting. Knuckles was panicking even more, and I felt like I was going crazy. Sonic practically playing with us. He was playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Knuckles. Another cutscene played as Knuckled fell to his knees and clutched his head, sobbing. I felt his agony. Sonic was actually driving us both crazy. This is not what I was looking for. After the cutscene played, Sonic clutched his head, sobbing in agony. Sonic was actually driving us both crazy. Then in a split second, Sonic lunged at Knuckles, and the scream went black with another story scream. And it lasted for about 3 seconds. Another text appeared saying, "So many, oh, this play with so many time. Would you agree?" He said the other thing. I was brought back to the main menu. This time, the second file box with Knuckles and the TV screen. His red fur was darkened, and a reddish gray. His dreadlocks were dripping with blood. Yada yada yada. Blood, 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 blood. I selected Robotnik. Oh wait, no, I didn't. He said so. I shut off the game and took a break. I took a nap, which I hadn't, because then I began having nightmares of the most disturbed nightmare. I was in a pitch black darkness. pitch black darkness with cries of Knuckles and Tails nearby. They were saying stuff like, "Help us," and "Why did you give us to him?" and "Run away before he gets you too." Their cries died out, and I then heard Sonic laugh. His laugh. It sounded a lot like the distorted Kefka laugh. You're a lot of fun to play with, kid. Just like your friend Kyle, though he didn't last long. I was scared, looking around for the source of the voice. Wouldn't be long until you joined him and all my other friends. I saw him walking towards me, flickering in and out in several directions. You can't run, kid. You're in my world now, just like the others. When he grabbed me, I saw his bleeding black, red-eyed grin, and I woke up in a fright. After a couple of hours, I decided to continue playing the game. Yeah, after that fucking nightmare, I'm going to continue playing this stupid game. Yeah, after that experience, I'm going to continue playing this stupid fucking game. You have to... Okay. Still thought that was wacky playing as Robotnik, but anyway, the level title appeared again. This time it just had 3 dots. Fun. Which I found really freaky. This time I was in some kind of hallway. It didn't really look like it was from any of the classic Sonic games, though it had pixelated style. The floor was shiny and checkered. The walls were dark, a dark grayish purple with animated candlelight and a few dark blood stains. Wait, huh? Dude, what the hell? Dark red blood stains here and there. There were a dark curtain hanging above. And in the top part of the screens, every 12 seconds or so, a red curtain sways very slowly. But whenever you're playing the game, you can barely see it move. The music was oddly pleasant, a piano playing a rather sad yet peaceful song. But I knew better. This was the song that played in Hill Act 1, only it wasn't in reverse. What is it? What's wrong, Sour? Robotnik didn't look entirely nervous like Tails and Knuckles did. Okay. Entirely nervous like Knuckles and Tails did, but he did have a suspicious look on his face as if he was just a bit paranoid. He did a little animation, fuck! When I just let him standing there. He turns his head to the left, then his head to the left and then the right, at least twice, then as where he was or what he was doing. Even though I was scared out of my mind about what was going to happen, I had Robotnik continue onward. You know, when you've beaten him at the end of the classic Sonic game, when you chase him. As we continued going through the hallway, I stopped at a long flight of stairs leading downward. Now I was nervous, even Robotnik seemed unsure of himself, though I pressed onward. After I led Robotnik down the stairs, I noticed that the walls have gotten darker, and more reddish. The red were now eerie blue. Then we landed onto another hallway. This one was longer than the last one, or at least it felt like it. Or at least it felt like it. Oh shit, I think I found out why. Okay, so it says, and then we headed down another flight of stairs down. This one was much longer and took at least 1 full minute. Wow, odd. Then I heard that a horrid Kafka laugh again, and then the music slowly faded until it was quiet. As it did, the walls turned more dark and red, and the torches were a black flame now. When Robotnik landed on the third hallway, I noticed he now looked really creeped out, though he tried to hide it. I couldn't blame him, I was scared too. Suddenly Sonic popped right in front of Robotnik, the same way he did Knuckles, and then Red Static. The Red Static lasted about 15 seconds, and then it showed me the most unpleasant image. The image showed a... Ready, kids? Hyper-realistic Sonic! Standing in the darkness where you can only see his face, while his head and torso faded into black. And when I say hyper-realistic, I mean like he looked so real you could actually see the lines of his blue fur. As if you could actually feel the fur if you touched the screen. His face, oh god, he had the worst horrifying smile I've ever seen. That's saying something considering I saw the image at the start of the game. His eyes were wide and black, and once again crying blood, which also looked hyper-realistic. There were 2 small glowing dots in those black eyes staring right at me as if he was staring into my mind. His grin was wide, kind of like Cheshire Cat, except Sonic had fangs, very sharp fangs. Much like the Werehog's teeth, except more vicious looking. Somewhat yellowish, because this man did not know how to brush his teeth. Started as a gruesome for about 30 seconds, and then the laugh came on. The screen flickered, the red static, something, because I'm skipping the rest of this, because we all know how it happens. Image went black, except this time it was a text messed up saying, had said, "I am God." It was when I read the message while looking at Sonic it hit me and realized that Sonic was a monster. A pure, evil, sadistic, all-powerful, nightmarish, demented monster. And all of his victims yeah. Yeah, he does. I guess. An all-powerful, nightmarish, demented monster, and all of his victims, including Tails, Knuckles, and possibly Kyle, are just his little toys. And the game is the very gateway into his chaotic, nightmarish world, and the very hell his victims are trapped in. Suddenly, in an actual split second, I screamed as Sonic lunged at the screen, screaming loudly with his mouth wide open, to an unnatural length, revealing nothing but a little spiraling abyss of pure darkness before a red static came again. This time it was much louder and distorted, so loud that it hurt my ears. I yelled and cracked my ears as red static screeched for about 7 seconds. Then it stopped and showed nothing but a black screen. As I sat there staring at the black screen, one last text came up. Ready for round 2, Tom? The Kefka laugh, now sounding more clear as if Sonic was right behind me, played 3 times as I looked at that text in shock and confusion. Then I booted back to the main menu, and this time the third save file TV showing Robotnik in the same tormented state Tails and Knuckles were. Robotnik's skin turned dull and gray, his mustache drooped and had blackened. His glasses broke and blood was coming from them, and he had a mere dead-like expression on his face. I looked at Knuckles and Tails Robotnik and cried a bit. I pitied them for the agony they were going through. They were forever trapped within this game, forever tormented by that horrid hedgehog, and always will be. The computer shut itself off. I couldn't turn it back on, and no matter what I did. I sat there for maybe 25 seconds, horrified by what had happened. Sonic is the very embodiment of evil. He tortures people who play his game in more ways than one. When he gets bored, he drags you into the game, literally drags you to hell, when he can play with you always as his toy. I can't get the game out of my computer. It's I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's stuck in there, but at least I managed to turn it back on now. It was after I sat there for 25 seconds I heard a voice from behind me saying, "Try to keep this interesting for me, Tom." I turned around to see how the voice came from, and what I saw made me scream. Sitting on my bed, staring right at me, was a Sonic plushie smiling at me with blood stains in his eyes. That was fucking awful. That was just, oh fuck. Like, I don't even have words for this guy. It's fucking awful, man. There's so many leaps in logic in this fucking, like, after seeing all this godforsakenly bullshit happen, you'd be like, huh, maybe, just maybe, I shouldn't be doing this. Listen to my friend's advice. And maybe I should listen to my friend's advice and, I don't know, maybe not fucking do that? Like, yeah, curiosity is something that we as people have, and it's probably one of our most, like, dangerous attributes about ourselves. Probably one of the most dangerous attributes about oneself. But, like, you'd think after, like, maybe seeing Tails die or something, you would be like, hey, maybe playing this isn't such a good idea. Like, you know, the logical thing to do. That's like the logical thing to do in a scenario like this, am I right? I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Oh, right. Like, again, the logical thing to do would be to just destroy the game? Like, you're not gonna be all excited to say, oh boy, I'm gonna fucking get scared shitless by this. No, you fucking destroy the game and you never touch it again. Yeah, that's true, but you'd think if like this shit was happening and the constant and the warnings from your friends saying to destroy it, right? Like your friend pleads out to you saying, "Don't play this game, just destroy it." Ow. Like the constant cries and pleads of your best friend that you haven't seen for 2 weeks, who have just miraculously disappeared. You would think that listening to his advice would be a pretty good goddamn idea, right? You wouldn't shrug your shoulders and say, well, I guess I'm gonna play the game. You wouldn't do that shit. No, okay, so yeah, you probably would shrug your shoulders and say, well, I guess I'm playing it anyways, considering it's Sonic or some shit, because I love Sonic and all. But you play it, and then, like, it clicks in your fucking head, right? You're like, oh, this is why. So I think I should just destroy it. You know, so you think you should just be like, oh, I should fucking destroy it if this is what was off. Considering this is not an actual Sonic game, it's something completely different. So, here comes the $1,000,000 question. Uh, here's my question for you guys. Do you think this pasta is genuinely good? Because I, for one, think it's fucking dog doo-doo. I, for one, think it's fucking shit. Because, uh... oh, Kip, I guess you're gonna have to watch the whole thing. And see, like, the reason why it's a good concept, it's just awfully written. And you can see that with, like, the countless, like, other versions of Sonic.exe we have out there currently. Like, we got Lord X. We got fucking... We got Lord X. We got, like... all these other versions and shit. Like they take the original and they take it... They bring it on a new spin. Majin's not an EXE. I mean, he didn't originate as one. He didn't originate as one. He was just simply an Easter egg. The intentions of it are unclear, though. Yeah, because let's think about this. The developers are Japanese, correct? So, if that's the case, the Japanese boss theme, which the boss theme is coded to be the thing that plays when you activate the Easter egg, right? That's what it's supposed to be. So, if that's the case, then the boss theme in the Japanese version is kind of goofy and like clownish and shit, kind of like how Eggman himself is, like back in the day. But you look at the like US version where like more people are gonna like find it or some shit. And you find that, but you find that, and it's like creepy. But I'm pretty sure people in Japan are just like, "Oh, that's such a silly picture. Look at the weird-looking Sonics." But people in America, because we have the creepier soundtrack, the creepier track for because regardless of how people portray Majin, he's not fucking creepy whatsoever. Like, even like if anybody tries to make him look creepy, he isn't. Because to me, he's just a goofy looking dude. Okay. He's just a goofy looking dude who just does goofy looking things. I don't feel like there's anything like necessarily harmful about him. He's just kind of there, so but yeah. We got through 2 creepypastas. I'm sorry, like, if, like, Gumi was watching this and I get... Okay, so I think I'm gonna end off the stream there, and I want to apologize to Gumi for not finishing one of the creepypastas she sent in. But don't worry, you guys can keep submitting them, and I'll probably do another one of these streams within like a month or so, because I don't want to do this every fucking like week or something, because I feel like it'll lose its fire. If I burn it out, it's gonna lose its like charm to it. So I think I'm gonna end the stream off there. And I'm not doing another part 2 tonight. If anything, I think I'll play Slime Rancher again. But I'll see you guys later.